My name is Sam Bass, and I'm a workers' compensation attorney here at Stewart Law Offices. And what I want to talk to you about today is the way to compute your average weekly wage as well as the compensation rate in workers' compensation claims, and why it is so important to have an accurate accounting of what your average weekly wage and compensation rate is. So generally in a workers' compensation case, they take your wages, your gross wages that you've earned over the last 52 weeks prior to the injury, and they divide that by 52 to come up with your average weekly wage, and then they multiply that by 0.6667. So your compensation rate is a percentage of your gross average weekly wage. And if you are injured at work and you're written out of work and you start to receive a weekly check for those workers' compensation benefits, that check amount is going to be that compensation rate, or that 2/3 of what your gross weekly wage is. Immediately, the benefits you receive on a weekly basis are tied to a correct computation of your average weekly wage and compensation rate. Often, employers or insurance carriers make mistakes in computing that amount. Sometimes it can be a mistake of $30, $40, $50, even a couple $100 of what the average weekly wage and what the compensation rate should be. And that is some money that can really add up for the injured worker. Often you have claimants who haven't been working at a job for a full year, and so there are other ways that we need to look at coming up with a viable average weekly wage and compensation rate, and making sure it's accurate. It's very important that compensation rate is accurate to make sure that workers are getting the right weekly benefits. Additionally, the compensation rate is really important to be accurate because it does determine the value of the case when it comes time to either settle your case or go to a hearing and have it determined in front of a commissioner. Everyone's compensation rate is different, and so everyone's case is valued a little bit differently. But making sure that that rate is correct really does make sure that the worker is compensated correctly and fairly when it comes to trying to conclude their case. If you've been injured on the job and have questions regarding your workers' compensation case or questions regarding average weekly wage and compensation rate determination, please call us at 866-STEWART for a free, no obligation consultation. I'd be glad to talk with you.